And welcome back to another installment of Asagao Academy. Yeah, I know I did that joke again. And it's a pretty cheesy I'm done. Alright, I'm your host, Sensei Pong, and let's get cracking. So now we find ourselves, we're still on day one, we're in the cafeteria, and a familiar green jacket has caught my eye as we're talking to our friend and roommate, May. There's a pause here for tension, so, I know. You want me to take some of that normal boots man candy. I'm gonna stop with the man candy jokes. I glanced over. Hey, that's him! Huh? Who? I leaned across the table to whisper, just in case he could hear me through the ambient chatter of the lunchroom. The boy from the train, that's him!
What?
Jared? Yeah. With the weird green jacket and swoopy hair. He just picked up his tray and was walking past us when something seemed to catch his eye. Oh, you. It's not Jared's voice. I looked up at him, suddenly realizing he was talking to me.
Hana,
I met you on the train. How are things settling down for you? Really well. I found my roommate and she's been helping me out. I gestured to May, who was thunderstruck. In fact, looking around, everyone was. People stopped eating to turn and stare at Jerry and me, my shoulders bunched around my neck. Well, if you ever need my help, I'll be around. 3rd year, right? I nodded.
all right.
Some of my friends are in that year. Of course, they can't compare to me, but I'll give them a heads up to look out for you. He flashed a dazzling smile, then winked. Ding! Sparkles. It's the least I can do for such a cute girl. Well, I'll see you around. I watched, a torrent of thoughts raging through my head as he took a seat next to a bunch of guys who were all wearing the same jacket. That's Jared! She tore my eyes away from him and looked at me.
He's so cute!
He's the most beautiful guy in school!
Oh, Jared.
I can't believe he just looked at me! I looked at May. Her cheeks were glowing an indecent pink. Why do they all wear those jackets? Aren't all the guys supposed to wear blue blazers as part of their uniform? No, they're allowed to. They're... You know, Jared? Oh. Mimi had turned back around and was looking at me with sudden interest. Did I know him? I only talked to him on the train for a few minutes, so not really. We weren't friends or anything. But looking around, May and the girl weren't the only ones who were interested. Everybody seemed to be listening in. They seemed so surprised when he talked to me. Maybe a little white lie couldn't hurt? You know what? We're gonna be honest this gameplay. If I play this again, I'm not gonna be honest. I'm just gonna lie through my teeth the entire way through and see how it goes. Not really. Oh. She looked me up and down, sniffed, and turned away. Shh. May leaned towards me. Don't mind Mimi. She was just trying to get in with you. Get in with me? Why? Well, you asked me about those guys, their jackets, right? Those are their normal boots club jackets. They're... what? What's a normal boots club? Bum. Oh. It's a club we have at the school here. It's like totally exclusive and full of only the coolest students. They get together and play video games. Or something. That one right there is John. Also known as John Tron. His bird's name is Jock. I like the creepy glowy red eyes. John is also the president of the drama club here at school. Next to him is PBG. He and John founded the Normal Boots Club together. PBG is one of the best soccer players on our team. Wonder if that's true in real life. Then there is Gerard. People call him the completionist. because he's obsessed with completing things. He has the biggest itty-bitty kitty collection I've ever seen. Now I wonder if that's true. I'm sure it's not. He probably does collect things, though. I know that for a fact, because unless that's just his set that he uses, but whatever. Next to him is Jared. He's also known as Pro Jared. He's a model. Then there's Satchbag, but everyone calls him Satch. He's like crazy smart. Those guys over there are Paul, Nick, and Josh. They write a column in the school newspaper called Continue. Paul, the one standing up, is the student council president. And the guy on the end there is Shane. He knows more about video games than anyone, ever. She exhaled a dreamy sigh into her mashed potatoes. Imagining gravy pouring over Normal Boots. How could someone, join the Normal Boots Club? You don't choose the boots, Hannah. The boots choose you. Dot. What does that even mean? You have to be presented with the boots to be in the club. And they're like super selective. What? The boots? The club has the boot statue. It's like the one of their patches, but it's gold-plated. It's their mascot, I guess. They do this weird initiation ritual where, with it, ritual? Yes, they kill small animals. I hear they fill a room with candles and wear these totally creepy robes during initiation. This year, two girls said she saw it once, and they were all, like, chanting around the boots, and it sounded like they were talking backwards. Creepy. I don't believe her. And even if it's true, I don't care if they're a cult because they're all really hot. They do have a lot of friends? Yeah, tons of friends. I'd say they're the most popular kids in school. I mean, everyone in the school totally looks up to them. I bet they could get any girl in school, too. Or a boy, for that matter. Hey, are you going to eat your cake? I shook my head and pushed the plastic tray across the table to her. For the remainder of lunch, I listened to May talk about Jared through mouthfuls of half-dissolved frosting. Back at the dorm, I sorted through the pile of textbooks the school's left for me. My radio was playing the poppy tune, equal parts music to static. May fervently scribbled in a notebook at her desk, hunched over it with strikingly poor posture. Hey, May. She didn't bother to look up. Am I supposed to have a textbook of History 309? She shuffled through the papers on her desk before producing a thick textbook. A demure man in a powdered wig frowned at me from the cover. Yeah, this one? I sighed. I don't think I have that one. The school must have missed it. May shrugged and set the textbook back in her pile. They have a bunch in the library. You can just check one out. Where's the library? May rifled through her notebook and wrote something down. She tore a page out and handed me a crudely drawn map. Oh. Okay, we'll be back in a little bit. Oh, I'll be back in a little bit. It took me at least 20 minutes to find the library. By the time I realized I was holding the map upside down, the sun was setting. The library was much larger than I expected. The walls lined from floor to ceiling with books of all sizes on rough wooden shelves. Intimidated, I headed for the front desk. A recognizable green and gray jacket was behind the counter. The Normal Boots. I briefly considered running away. Hey, can I help you? Too late. Yay, it's Satchbag. Yeah. The school forgot to give me one of my textbooks. I was told I could get it here. Which one is it? The History 309 textbook. He stepped from behind the counter and motioned for me to follow. We dodged between the aisles in a comfortable silence. He seemed friendly enough, I should say something. What was his name again? Shane? Gerard? John? No, not John. Satch! Huh? Oh, you work here? Of course he worked here. Oh, he's probably the shy one, the shy trope guy. He chuckled, dimples appearing in his cheeks. Yeah, I'm the librarian's assistant. It's my second year and I love it. I get to help people find books that speak to them. His eyes twinkled, like a kid's on Christmas. Your book is right down here. He stopped at a row of thick, dusty books. Was this all history? And pulled out a book with the powdered wigged man I saw earlier. Thanks. Gee. He waved his hand. It was nothing. Do you need any help with anything else? I wanted to make a good impression on the Normal Boots Club, but I couldn't come up with anything. No. Thanks.
Copacetic.
Yes. You're welcome. Copacetic. As we headed back through the cavernous library, my unease melted away. We weren't talking, but just being near him felt like being wrapped in a soft blanket. Oh, a nice Satchbag blankie. I resisted the urge to snuggle up to him. We neared the front desk, stepping around a clump of studying students. As we passed, one of them shifted. Something white flew past my face. A thick piece of triangular paper lay at my feet. I bent over and picked it up. It was surprisingly heavy. There was a quarter inside it. Sorry, I had to drink my tea. If I was just a hair slower, it would have hit me in the face. The students snickered, and I recognized the boys that made fun of my hair this morning among them. My heart dropped. I scanned my memory for anything I might have done to offend them, but came up nothing. My hand started to shake. I hid it behind my back, trying to think of some way to defend myself. Why did you do that? What do you mean? We're just messing around.
Are you suggesting we did it on purpose?
I faltered. There was nothing I could say. I was outnumbered. They would twist my words around no matter how straightforward I was. No, sorry. One of the boys held his hand out for the paper. I inched closer to give him, angry at myself for being so compliant. I wish I were. A gentle warmth closed over my hand, and I took the paper from me. Satch examined the paper closely. I see what the problem is. Your aim would be better if you cut the corners before you folded it. He placed the paper on the table. The boy looked at him with sheer awe. Be careful though. You almost hit her, and that would have been awful. My hands began to sweat as panic shifted through me, afraid of the response, but... Jeez, we're sorry. We'll be careful next time. Yeah, it was an accident. They apologized? Thanks, I appreciate it. He gave them a weird smile and continued off down the aisles. I followed closely behind him, my legs weak. Now I'm choking. I'm talking to Satchbag. It's making me all befuddled inside. Oh, what's that word? I'm getting all Twitter-pated. Talking to Satch. Anyways, if you're unfamiliar with Satchbag's work, as always, there's links down below in the description to Normal Boots and Hidden Block and Satchbag. Anyways, carry on. Don't tell me they stopped because of him. Simply because I was with him? I wanted to thank him, but my heart was pounding so hard, I knew my voice would shake. We reached the front counter, and he scanned the history book. My lips trembled as I willed myself to say something, anything, to thank him. He tilted his head to the side. What books do you like to read? Fiction? He chuckled. I just finished a good book. I think it'd be right up your alley, if you don't mind me saying so. He reached under the counter, pulled out a thick green book, and passed it to me. A man in black stood in front, hugging a woman in royal robes. It's long, but it's one of my friends. It's long, but it's one of my favorites. The Princess Betrothed. I know things can be tough transferring to a new school. If you ever worried, just read this. It will transport you 100 miles away in a second. Tears stung my eyes, so I ducked my head.
Satch.
Thank you, Satch. For more than just the books.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Oh, Oh, I'm sorry, I don't think I got your name.
My name is Hana Mizuno.
My name is Hana Mizuni. I'm a transfer student.
Hana.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Hana. Let me know if you like the book. Oh, how you like the book.
I will.
Aww. That couldn't have gone better. Not only was Satch impossibly kind, but being around him felt easy, refreshing. Like being doused in the mist of a waterfall. Oh gosh, what was I thinking? My cheeks hot. I left the library, 2 surprisingly heavy books under one arm. I settled into bed, eager to get started with my new reading material, but Mai was sitting at her desk, carving a pencil idly into the pages of a notebook. Every few minutes, she released a long, drawn-out sigh as the lead of her pencil whined against the paper. I lowered my book and took the bait. Something wrong, May. And with that, being introduced to Satchbag, and not knowing what's wrong with May, I think this may be a good point to cut off. I'm choking on myself right now, so I think it might actually be a good point to take a short little break. And until next time, see what happens here on Asagao Academy. I'm your host, Sunset Punk. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel. Also, go check out the Normal Roots crew down below in the description below. Blah blah blah. This game is free on itch.io. There's links, whatever. You know the drill. Like and subscribe.